Afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Booking Through TravelJoy. My name is Caitlin, and I'll be your host for today's session. At TravelJoy, our vision has always been to be an all-in-one platform to run your business so that you can spend less time juggling tools and copying things between tabs. Today, we're excited to show you the next big step toward that vision, the TravelJoy Booking Platform. Now you can complete your entire end-to-end planning process in TravelJoy, from the moment a client fills out your client inquiry form, all the way through sending them an itinerary, booking their travel, and getting paid commissions. By booking through TravelJoy, you can streamline your entire workflow. No more switching tools to search, quote, and book. No more duplicate data entry, since booking information will automatically flow into itineraries and trips. And no more chasing commissions, because commissions are tracked and paid automatically and can be easily split between team members and team owners. Now, before we get started, let's talk about questions. Throughout today's webinar, feel free to submit any questions you may have using the Questions tab. It's located just below the chat box, and to ensure we don't miss anything, please be sure to post your questions there rather than in the chat. We'll do our best to answer these questions live towards the end of today's webinar, or a member of the team will answer the questions as we go. Now, as a reminder, this session is recorded, so you will receive a copy of that recording by email about 5 minutes after the session concludes. So let's talk about how booking through TravelJoy can help you save time, stay organized, look professional, and deliver the trip of a lifetime your clients won't ever forget. And I'm just looking over at the chat. Welcome, everyone. So many people joining from different areas and locations. Thank you for taking some time out of your day today. We're going to jump right in by heading into a smart proposal within my TravelJoy dashboard. Now, the reason we're starting out here is this is the jumping off point for bookable items such as hotels, activities, and transfers. So let's say you've built out the smart proposal and you're ready to start adding bookable items to this smart proposal. How do we do that? Well, you're going to navigate to this nice green button here, the Explore Bookable Items button, to start the process. Once you click on this option, you're going to see 3 activities up here at the top: hotels, activities, and transfers. So these are all things that you can offer to your clients to book directly through the TravelJoy platform while earning a commission. So as you can see, our trip is headed to Denver, Colorado. That is listed in our trip details. So it's smart enough to know, hey, you're headed to Denver. Let me suggest a few things within Denver for you. You can search hotels if you need to as well, if you're looking for a specific one, which I am. So we're looking for the Courtyard Denver Cherry Creek Hotel. It already has our dates of stay in there because, again, it's pulling that from the trip information, and we have only 1 adult staying. We'll search those details, and right away we get the first response here is going to be what we're looking for, which is that Courtyard Denver Cherry Creek. Now, you can easily add this to your smart proposal just by using this green plus button over here at the top right. And you'll see over here, you can actually see all of the details of your smart proposal, so you can drag and drop things where you need to go as you add things. But if you want to know a little bit more detail about the hotel specifically, you can click into it, and it's going to open up all that information that you need. So we've got some photos. These tabs down here will give you some more information as an overview of the hotel itself, the room types that are offered, board types, and facilities. So it's going to give you a little bit more information about the hotel itself. So if this is something you would like to offer your client as an option to stay, you'd head up to the Add Proposal button at the top right, and that'll be added to your proposal. Now remember, again, you do earn a commission by offering these to book through TravelJoy, and for hotels, it's that 12% commission that we can see up here at the top left. I'm going to drag and drop this hotel item all the way to the top. Makes for easy organization while we're actually adding items to our smart proposal. And we'll know that this is an item that is offered as a bookable item through TravelJoy because it's got that little sparkle next to the icon over here on the right-hand side. You'll notice I have a few other things added to this smart proposal that has that sparkle. So these are all going to be items that are offered through TravelJoy. All right, so I've added a hotel. Let's talk about another option, which is activities. Now we're going to head back to our search results because this is going to allow us to navigate to that activities page, which we see up here at the top. All right. Now, again, it's going to take that destination for the trip that the smart proposal is tied to, and it's going to try to give you a few options to choose from. So if you're just looking for some things to offer your client, this is a great way of discovering new things. Or you can search for specific things if you'd like to from the Viator database. So I'm looking for the Denver cocktails tour, which is right here. I see it there. It's going to bring up that item for me, so that way I can go ahead and view more details about it. Now, we have a few more tabs on the activities and transfer items. So we have overview, additional information that might be needed for your clients, language guides, ticket information, so how the tickets are going to be distributed and accessed, cancellation policy. So this is viewable right on the item itself, and I'll show you where to locate that for hotels when we get to that portion. And then reviews. So if you'd like to know what other travelers are saying and like to share that with your clients, this is a great way of doing so. So you can see all this information within these tabs. Again, this is the same process as what we saw when we added the hotel to the proposal. We're going to head up to that Add to Proposal button at the top right, and that's going to add it over here at the bottom right. I can click and drag and drop this where I want it to go. So I'm giving my client a few options here on their Saturday, October 18th, to choose from. So I'll drag and drop it there. And that way they can go through all of these items and see which one fits their needs and what they would like to book. If we want to add a transfer to our trip, you're going to head back to those search results, just like we did when we were looking at hotels and wanted to look at activities. And you'll find the Transfers tab just to the top right. Now, same process. We can search for transfers, and this can be for your client arriving or departing. I'm going to look for a private transfer. Let's see here, or arrival, transfer from Denver, and that should pop up for us. International, let's see here. Oh, let's see here. It looks like in the time that I've created this, they may have been booked up for that specific one that I was looking for. So that's quite all right. We'll just choose one of these as an example, but I'll still show you what the one that I was looking for looks like once it's completed. So let's go ahead and say we're going with this one here. They're going to Glenwood Springs, but this is just, again, showing you how to add this to your smart proposal. So again, it gives you some details about the transfer itself, the additional information, the ticket information if needed, cancellation policy, and reviews. If you'd like to add this to your proposal, it's the same process. We're going to head up to that Add to Proposal button at the top right, and it's going to be added down here at the very bottom. And we can go ahead and drag and drop it to where we'd like it to go, which will be our arrival. So I'm going to place it above our hotel, and there we have it. So that is the process of adding a hotel, an activity, and a transfer to your smart proposal. Don't worry, we're not done with this yet. There's definitely a lot more details to go through, but that's the process of getting started. So once you are happy with all of the items you have added to your proposal, you can head back to your proposal using this button at the top right. And it takes us right back, and all of the things that we have added are now visible in the Smart Proposal Editor. So we can see our transfer, our hotel, and then there's our activity down here at the bottom. All right, so what does this look like to your client when they access this smart proposal? I'm happy to show you using the actual finished product of this proposal. So I'm going to head back to our trip files, get that proposal link, and show you what your client sees. So this is our current smart proposal with no booked items in place. If you're not familiar with the smart proposal, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. We have all of our items visible on this left-hand side overview, so they are clickable and your client can get to that at any portion of the smart proposal. But when we come to those bookable items, you'll notice we have those Book Now buttons on the items themselves. So your client's going to be able to view the details for the item itself, and then they're going to use that Book Now button to complete the process of booking directly through TravelJoy. So you don't have to leave TravelJoy in order to complete this booking, and your clients don't have to leave TravelJoy in order to complete this booking. You can see that there's a different color for each type of item. So transfers, we've got that nice green tealy color. And then for hotels, we've got that purple color here. And then for activities, it's more of a yellowish orange. So if we're going through the process of booking, let's say we want to book this hotel. We'll use the purple Book Now button, and it'll take us through the process. Now, with hotels, you'll notice that the cancellation policy wasn't readily available when we were adding it to the proposal itself. That's because when your client is going through the process of booking the hotel, they'll be able to see the cancellation policy as they move through that booking. So they'll be able to select which room type they'd like. So again, we're looking at that Cherry Creek Hotel here. We've got our dates in place. We can check availability if we'd like, but we already have this availability down here at the bottom. They can go through the hotel rooms that are available. Some of them have photos, some of them may not. We'll choose to book this room here. And it's going to go through the process of asking them details to complete their booking. So if these details are correct, they'll hit next, and then they'll be taken to their payment details. They'll get a full overview of what to expect as far as pricing and cancellation here on the right-hand side. If we're booking an activity, let's head back to our proposal here. See if we can get back this way. There we go. An activity or transfer is going to be a very similar booking process. They're going to select the activity that they'd like to book. Let's go with our cocktails hour. They're going to ensure that they have the amount of travelers selected, the date that they would like to take this activity. We'll check availability. It's going to let us know if we are able to book on that date. So we have a couple of options here. So we have a mocktails option or a tasting tour option for this time frame here. So if they click on the time frame they'd like to book, the Book This option button will open up here on the right-hand side. And again, a very similar process. They're going to put in their contact details. Fill out the activity details, so any information that is needed from the supplier themselves, and the payment details to complete the payment and book the activity. And again, very similar process when we're looking at a transfer. So we're back on our smart proposal and heading to our transfer now. Oh, we just went past it. Use that Book Now button on the transfer. Check availability. It'll give us a price overview. And again, your clients are going to have access to all the same details. They're going to be able to see all of the information, ticket information, cancellation policy. They can book this option. And it's going to take them again through the process of the information that is needed. Any requirements from the supplier themselves for this particular transfer. And then payment. All right, so that is what your client will see when they go through the process. So what does it look like when these have actually been booked? I have another smart proposal with these same items that I've already pre-booked, so you can see what it looks like on your end, as well as the client's. So if we head into this smart proposal here, you're going to notice that I have the same items in here, except for that transfer. It's a little bit different. But these items have been booked. And the way that we know this is because there is a small green badge here. And if I expand my screen just a little bit, you'll see a little bit more detail here. It's probably a little bit smaller on your screen. But that indicates that this has been booked and your clients can expect to experience these items when they go on their trip. Now, there's a couple of ways of canceling these items if you ever need to. So I'll show you one now. I'll show you one a little bit later. If you need to cancel this item, you'll go ahead and select it within the proposal itself. And you'll notice there's a cancel booking button here. So if you do need to cancel this for any reason, you definitely can. You'll be able to go through the process here. Now, I did miss a step and I want to make sure that I go over it. So before your client completes the purchase of these items, and we're going to backtrack just a little bit, my apologies for getting too excited and getting ahead of myself, you do actually have the ability to add additional markup on top of the commission that you are offering. So if we head back to that original smart proposal, and head to one of those items that has not been booked yet, let's say our hotel. If we scroll down, and again, this is before your client completes their booking, you'll have this opportunity. There is a way to add additional markup to this item. So you can use this slider to add additional markup, and you'll see your profit down here if needed, and the total that the client will see for this item. Or you can even get a discount, which will come from the commission amount that you receive. So using that slider gives you a little bit more freedom over what markup that you receive, or if you'd like to offer your client a discount. Awesome. I want to make sure I don't miss anything else, so I'm going to just check my notes and make sure that we are on track for everything. I do want to go ahead and show you, let's see here, a couple more things from our dashboard, as well as, actually, let's do this. Let's show you what those invoices look like. So once your client has actually booked those items, an invoice is going to be generated for them. And you're going to receive a confirmation email as well with details about the item itself. So as you can see within our Denver trip here, those items that I already pre-booked, those invoices are available here for you to view. So this is for each of those items. So this is for our hotel item, which is booked through Hotel Beds. That invoice is automatically generated so that you can access it at any time with details about the payment and the client's payment here. So again, those are automatically generated under your Trip Files tab. And it's generated for each of those items. So I booked that activity as well as that transfer, and those are all here. Again, you'll also receive an email. Your client will receive an email with the booking confirmation once that occurs. Perfect. We'll go ahead and click out of this. Now, if you do need to keep track of those commissions that you are expecting, we have an easy way of doing that with our commissions and sales report. Now, in order to receive your commission from TravelJoy for these bookable items, you want to make sure that your direct payments are set up. That way we can ensure that we pay that amount to you. To check on your commissions that you are expecting, you're going to head over to Reports and Commissions and Sales. Now you have a couple ways of viewing this information. You can head to the Details tab and search for the time frame or search the invoice numbers, completely up to you. I'm going to say this month because it'll pull all that information. And you can see any of the details for the bookings that you've completed or had your clients book here in this report. And you'll know that it is an item that is a bookable item through TravelJoy because you'll see this purple tag with that little magic sparkle that we saw within the actual proposal itself. And I do want to just make a quick announcement. I see a lot of questions in the chat tab. Because we have so many folks that are attending today, we want to make sure your questions are answered, and we won't be able to answer questions in the chat tab because they go a little too fast. So I highly recommend placing your questions in the Questions tab just below the chat box to ensure we get those answered for you. If you want to see your commissions by supplier, you have this Suppliers tab just to the end here. And this will also give you a bird's eye view of commissions that you are expecting. Now with both of these tabs, you're going to notice that there are multiple columns that let you know what the total commission will be from that sale. And then once that commission is collected and sent to your bank account, you'll see that listed underneath collected agents commissions. And we have Viator here and Hotel Beds. So again, hotels are going to be through Hotel Beds, and Viator activities and transfers are going to be through Viator. So you'll see them listed as the supplier. Now, one easy place where you can also keep track of all of your trips bookings is the Bookings tab. So this is a newer addition. If we head to our Denver trip and head to the Bookings tab here, we're going to be able to see all of the completed bookings here in this trip. If you need quick access to those bookings in the proposal itself, we have these actions over here on the right-hand side. You can click on this button here and it's going to take you right to that smart proposal. And if you need to cancel the booking, you can do so using the little trash can icon over here. So let's go ahead and cancel an item now, just so you can see how easy that process is. We can head to, let's say, the Courtyard Denver Cherry Creek Hotel, and let's go ahead and cancel this one live. We'll go ahead and click that button. It's going to ask us, are you absolutely sure your client will receive a 100% refund of this amount because we are within our refund policy? We'll go ahead and say cancel the booking. It's going to process that on our behalf. And it may take just a few moments. And now it should be canceled. So we see that confirmed here underneath the status. So that is the entire process from start to finish of offering bookable items to your clients to choose from, what your client sees when they go through the booking process, the invoices that are generated, and the ways that you can track your commission for these items, and how to cancel these items if needed. So it's a very exciting time to be using TravelJoy, and we hope you find as much ease and use of these items as we do. We're going to really quickly announce something very, very exciting. So now that we've gone over each bookable item type, I wanted to take a moment to share what's on the horizon. So grab your passports and your swimsuits because an exciting new feature is cruising your way. Pardon my pun. We are in the early stages of adding cruise booking to TravelJoy, allowing you to offer and book cruises directly within your client's smart proposal or itinerary. This feature is entering beta testing soon, so it's not available everywhere, but we'd love your help to ensure it has everything you need to confidently sell cruises. So this should have been added to my account, thanks to my colleague Andrea. So we should be able to enter our smart proposal again, and I can show you how it works. This is just a sneak peek and a thank you for attending today, so you get to see it here first. I'm going to head to my smart proposal. Lots of love, I love it. And then we're going to head to that bookable items button. And look at that, Andreas is fast as lightning because we now see that up here underneath hotels, activities, and transfers, there's a nice little cruise option. So if we click on the cruise option, we're going to be able to search cruises, and I have one ready to go. So we are heading to Alaska. We're going to be heading there in June. So let's go backwards because we're a little forwards, my bad. We'll say the 19th through the 26th. And we have right now 4 cruise lines to choose from, but that's not where we're stopping. So there's a lot to look forward to, more to come soon, including river cruises. So we can choose our cruise here, and I believe we're doing Carnival for this one. So we'll go ahead and search that. And it's going to surface any options that fit these parameters. So it might take just a few moments. And thank you all for the love in the chat. We also love giving you these sneak peeks as well. It's very fun for us. It's going to pull up that cruise information here in just a few moments. Again, it is in beta testing, so it may take a little bit longer, and it looks like it didn't work for me this time, and that's all right. Again, we're in beta testing, but if you are interested in being one of our beta testers, my colleague Andreas is going to be sharing a form link in the chat, and that form can be used to submit your interest in becoming an official beta tester for the cruise booking tool. So once it is filled out, we'll touch base with you with the next step. And Andres is posting it now, so be on the lookout for it. I can see him typing in the chat. So please fill out that form and we will touch base with you to get you started. Perfect. All right. Let's get, I just see Andreas, me. That's so exciting. Let's talk about one of our other options that we offer, which is offering FAY travel insurance. So this can be offered directly through an invoice, smart proposal, or group booking page, making trip protection seamless and efficient. So I'm going to head back to Julie Doe's Denver trip because I'm first going to show you how to add travel insurance to an invoice. So if we head over to our blue Create button, you can add FAY travel insurance to either type of invoice, so whether that's direct or supplier. I'm going to be using supplier for this option. Now, you don't even have to have any items added to the invoice, but you certainly can. So if there's more things you'd like to add to this invoice, you can. But we're going to be heading all the way down to the settings section here. And you're going to notice the very last option here is the ability to offer FAY travel insurance and earn a 24% commission. So once you check this checkbox, if you have never used FAY travel insurance through TravelJoy before, you'll have to complete an onboarding video. And it's very important. I highly recommend ensuring that you're paying attention for the entirety of the video because it goes through a lot of important information. Once you've completed your onboarding for Fay Travel Insurance and TravelJoy, you can click this checkbox and it's going to take you to the ability to add insurance to this invoice. So we'll start by selecting our state of residence. We'll say that we're coming from Utah. I might be biased. We're going to give our traveler's first name and last name, their date of birth. So we'll click there. If there are additional travelers, we can add those travelers here using the Add Traveler link. Our destination, let's go ahead and say Colorado. Our trip dates are going to automatically be imported if they are existing on that trip already. The total trip cost, which must be greater than $1,000. You can offer CFAR coverage. So this is going to allow you to offer this coverage as long as you're within 14 days of your client completing their initial trip deposit. So more information is underneath this little question bubble here. I highly recommend checking it out. And we'll just turn that off for today's, but you have that option. And then at the bottom, you're going to see an approximate commission amount that will be sent to you, as well as the cost to the client. So when we add this to our invoice using that blue Add to Invoice button, it's going to put a pending item at the top of your invoice. And this item will read as 0. This is very important. The reason why it reads as 0 is that your client has not yet opted into insurance on their side of the invoice. So if we save this invoice in place and send it off to our clients, I'm just going to save it for now and show you from the Trip Files tab, and view that invoice as if we are the client, this is what they'll see. So they're going to see the same thing. The invoice item is pending for that Fay Travel Insurance at a cost of 0. But if they scroll down, this is where they're going to get the option to protect their trip. So they can either opt in and learn more information about Fay's policy here, including the Show More button, which will open up a more efficient and thorough policy overlook. Or they can choose to opt out if they'd like. So if they choose to opt in, and we use the Yes, I'd like to add trip protection, it's going to refresh the page very quickly. And we're going to see that this updates. This item is now going to read the actual trip protection cost, and your client can proceed with making a payment to complete their purchase of Fay Travel Insurance. After the purchase is complete, you and your client will receive an email with policy documents. And if there are any things that you need to do to potentially amend the policy or cancel the policy, or if you have any questions about the policy itself, Fay's customer service team is incredible, and we highly recommend reaching out to them. So we do have their contact information that I'm going to post in the chats. And so if you ever need assistance with the policy after purchasing, please feel free to reach out to them. Again, you can track the commission for those insurance policy purchases underneath your commissions and sales report as well. You will see that in the same areas that we did when we were looking at the supplier payments. I don't have any that are active right now, but underneath that details tab and underneath the suppliers tab. Now, some key things to note about commissions after they are paid out. So for hotels, that is going to be paid out typically within the week of travel, I believe. Let me just go ahead and confirm that. Yep, so it is going to be paid within a week of travel completion. Activities and transfers commissions, which is 8%, is paid within the week of travel. And Fay Travel Insurance Commission is paid up usually around 3 weeks after the purchase of the policy. So those are timelines you can expect for commission payout. Now, if you are a part of a team, don't worry, we have you covered. So for teams on TravelJoy, commission from bookable items can easily be split from the team settings tab. So first and foremost, if you are a team owner and you're looking to get this set up, you're going to want to navigate to the settings tab and then direct payments, because the first step is getting a team bank account set up. So you can do this from these top bars here. And if we select team bank account, this is going to allow us to use the existing bank information on your personal direct payments or set up a different bank information to set up a team bank account instead. Once this is all set up, you can head to the settings tab again and navigate to team. And here you're going to be able to turn on the ability to split commissions automatically. If you have splits already set up, it's going to honor those splits and get everything set up. So that way, when your team starts selling bookable items through TravelJoy, you don't have to worry about anything. Those commissions are going to split automatically based off of your team settings. How are we doing? Everyone still with me? We've gone through so much, and I am really excited to share all this information with you. And we've gotten through a lot of what we're supposed to talk about today. So we're going to switch gears a little bit and look at the questions tab and see what kind of questions you've brought. I believe that some of my colleagues are answering questions in the questions tab, or all of the questions in the questions tab. A big thank you to Cody, Heather, Chelsea, Andreas, and Matt, who are all in the audience helping me out today. So I'm going to take a quick walkthrough of the questions to see if there are any that stand out, and also check in with the team and make sure that everything is going smoothly, which it does look like it is. Perfect. All right. Okay, so one of the questions that I'm going to pull out really quickly is from Jerry. Does commission come from the supplier, or is it through TravelJoy? So these commissions will be paid out through TravelJoy. As a reminder, you want to make sure that your direct payments are set up in order to receive your commissions once they're paid out. You'll want to make sure that this page says enabled, and you see that little green tag there in the 100% complete. So that way we can ensure those commission payments are paid to your bank account. All right. Another great question here, are we allowed to use these features if we have a host agency? It is definitely recommended to speak with your host agency prior to starting to sell bookable items on TravelJoy. We can't advise on that particular question, but very important to go ahead and touch base with your host agency. All right. Lots of amazing questions here. I love it. Who are these activities booked through? As a reminder, these are booked through Viator. So both activities and transfers are booked through Viator, whereas hotels are booked through Hotel Beds. All right. Perfect. Still looking through and seeing there's so many amazing questions here. Thank you again for bringing so many amazing things to the table here. Are we able to book for them, or do they need to do it themselves? If you would prefer to book for your clients, you absolutely can from the Smart Proposal itself. You'll just visit the Smart Proposal underneath the Trip Files tab, get the proposal link. And just as the client can, you can select those items to book. So you'll be able to use the Book Now button and go through the process of completing the booking on their behalf. All right. So again, how are cancellations handled? Just want to touch base on this one more time. You can cancel in one of two ways. So you can either cancel from the Smart Proposal itself, just by checking on that item and heading to cancel booking, or you can do it from the bookings tab within the trip itself, just by using that red trash can icon. Perfect. Amazing. Yep. If clients book a hotel or activity themselves, will we receive a full confirmation? Yes, you will receive a notification and a copy of the confirmation details. Heather answered that wonderfully. You will receive those details. Okay. Perfect. What if they have questions about the booking? Do they get an email confirmation and do we? Yes, absolutely. As far as questions are concerned, you will have access to those booking details. So again, you're going to have access to contact the supplier of the activity or the hotel or the transfer, and you'll be able to get those questions answered however you need to. I do want to point out that for issues with hotel bookings, if it is pre-travel, the TravelJoy team can usually help you out with anything that you need. If your client is in travel, the Hotel Beds team is definitely the best ones to reach out to. Okay, another great question. Can clients cancel on their own? That is an absolutely great question. So only you as the travel advisor can cancel on their behalf. So you want to make sure that you let your clients know that if they do need to cancel for any reason, just to contact you. All right. see a few duplicate questions in here. Okay. Oh, actually, I have a few more tricks to show you. So let's go ahead and talk about how to add this to a smart proposal, which is a newer feature, as well as group booking pages. So if we want to add Faye travel insurance to either of those options, you absolutely can do so. So let me show you how to do that since we have a little bit of time. If we head to a smart proposal within Julie's trip, and we head into the pricing tab up at the top, you can add Faye travel insurance to supplier payment smart proposals only. This isn't available for direct payments quite yet as far as the smart proposal is concerned, but you do see that option when you choose to accept supplier payment. So again, this is underneath the pricing tab, underneath the settings tab. If you click that checkbox, it's going to go through that same process that we saw before when adding to an invoice. And that way, when your client goes through the process of completing their payment, so let me go ahead and just add this really quickly. Okay, we'll say Colorado. Perfect. Oh, we're not living in Colorado, we're in Utah. Let's change that. It's really good at guiding you through the process. Again, we see that commission amount and the cost to the client. We'll add to the proposal. And we've got that all selected over here. And if we head to the finished product and see it from our client's eyes, once they're ready to approve and authorize the proposal, they'll head up to the top right-hand corner of the screen. And they'll be able to go through the process of signing the terms and conditions, then adding that Faye travel insurance as they're going through the process of authorizing this smart proposal. So that's the way that you would add Faye travel insurance to a smart proposal if needed. And then if you'd like to add Faye travel insurance to a group booking page and allow all of the members of your group to add on travel insurance that they'd like, we'll just head to our dashboard and head to our group. Head to group files. I've got a group booking page ready to go. So once this is created on your end, you can head to the pricing tab. Head on down to the very last section, which is going to be the payment details section. And then you're going to be able to offer travel insurance this way as well. So once you click this checkbox, it's going to be a little bit different because you are offering the ability for multiple people to opt in to travel insurance without having all of their details since it's going through a group booking page. But you can type in the destination here. Let's do Belize, the dates, if you want to offer CFAR coverage, and then add it to the group booking page. So that way, when your clients go through the booking process, they'll see that ability to add on insurance as they go through that final step. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to pop back over to the questions and see how we're doing in here. Tina asked a great question. Does our agency need to be registered with hotel beds? Nope, you don't have to worry about that. TravelJoy already has you covered, so you don't have to be registered with them. All right. Okay, and Aaron asked, cruise booking is exciting. Who will be servicing those cruises? The supplier behind the cruises, I mean. So right now, again, we have 4 cruise lines that we are working with, which is going to be Carnival, Princess, Norwegian, and my last one there, I'm drawing a blank, want to make sure that I remember it properly. Where is it? There it is, Royal Caribbean. Really on the tip of my tongue there for a moment. So those are the 4 that we currently are working with. And as mentioned, more to come. All right. Perfect. And again, apologies for a little bit of dead air. I want to make sure I'm pulling out some of the questions here that would be most beneficial. What is the commission on cruises? We don't have that information quite yet. When we are ready to share with you, we definitely will. Perfect. Again, I'm having to scroll back just a little bit. I want to make sure that we're highlighting some good ones in here. All of them are good ones, but want to make sure I'm pulling out any that may be a little bit more relevant here. And oh, so many. Can you use this for groups? Yes. Viator activities and hotel beds can, I apologize. Viator activities and transfers are able to be added through group itineraries. So you are able to offer those if you're familiar with our group itineraries feature, just as you would on a smart proposal or an itinerary as you can now. This is a great question. So are all bookings paid in full when the client clicks on book now, or do they have the option to pay later? So right now, as Andrea said in the answer to this question, we don't have a reserve now, pay later button or option through these items currently. So the payment is processed right then and there in the moment. Amazing. Again, great questions. Let me just check in with the team really quickly. Perfect. All right. So while we're waiting for some more questions to pop in, I see a few at the top there. So we'll give a few folks some opportunity to put more questions in so we can go over them. I do want to announce something else very exciting. So just like we did the sneak peek, we want to say thank you for joining us today and let you know about a little contest. So now that we've gone through each way that you can add value to your client's proposal or itinerary by making it a one-stop shop for booking all of the elements of their trip, we've come up with a way to celebrate. So starting today until June 30th, every hotel booking, activity or transfer booking, and Fay travel insurance sale earns you an entry to win one of three $500 prizes. So there are three separate ways to win. Hotel bookings count as entries towards the $500 hotels prize. Activity and transfer bookings count as entries towards the $500 activities and transfer prize. And Fay insurance bookings count as entries towards the $500 insurance prize. So for example, 25 activity bookings count as 25 entries toward the $500 activities and transfer prize. So we do have some ground rules, and they are as follows. We'll review the accounts of the contest winners to ensure that these bookings that are completed during the time are for valid clients and trips. And you may only win for one category of the three categories, which again are hotels, activities and transfers, and travel insurance. More details, including full terms and conditions regarding this contest, will be received by email tomorrow, May 14th. So very exciting to announce that. We hope you have a lot of fun with it. And I'm just checking in on the chat as well, since I haven't been able to look over it, and very excited to see you all are very excited as well. Awesome. Perfect. And I see a couple questions there that I may not have the answer to, so I may leave that to my colleagues in the audience for Maylin's and Tabitha's. And I'm going to give just a few more moments if you'd like to get your questions in. If there's anything else that you need to ask, please put them in the questions tab. I'm going to take a brief sip of water. If we don't have any more questions to go over, we'll maybe wrap up a little bit sooner. So I want to make sure that I am respecting your time this afternoon. But I'll go ahead and give you a few moments just to go ahead and get some questions in, and then I'll pop back on screen to answer those if they come in. All right, folks. see here. It looks like we have 2 additional questions. And again, I want to make sure we're getting the correct answers to you. So I'm not going to answer those live on screen. And we haven't had any further questions come in. So we may be wrapping up just a little bit early. For those 2 questions that have not yet received an answer, we definitely want to make sure we get you an answer. I'm going to work on getting those answered here in the webinar as far as the questions afterwards. So you'll be able to see those in the replay link that you receive. However, if you would like, you can also reach out to us at hello@traveljoy.com. We'd be happy to get those answers for you. Again, I want to make sure I'm giving you the most correct and up-to-date information. Oh, I do see an answer that I might be able to answer one of those here. One moment. So for Tabitha's, I do see that Chelsea is working on an answer here as well, but I did see that we do have one there. So our cruise price is the same as seen online by the client. So these are coming directly from the supplier themselves, that cruise line. So they should be the best available pricing for your client. Okay. All right, folks. And then I did see a question just come in. Where can we find the recording? This recording will be sent to you about 5 minutes after the session concludes. So once we end the session, you'll receive that by email and be able to access it. All right, folks. So we've covered so much today. We hope you found a lot of enjoyment in it as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope that you're walking away with a clearer picture of how TravelJoy can help you not only manage your business, but also book hotels, activities, transfers, and offer travel insurance, all while earning commission and creating a seamless experience for your clients. Remember, with just a few clicks, you can turn a proposal into a complete bookable itinerary that saves you time, keeps you organized, and helps you deliver truly unforgettable trips. As a reminder, this session has been recorded, and you'll receive that recording by email about 5 minutes after we conclude. If your question was not answered today in the questions tab, or if more questions arise after we wrap up, please reach out to the TravelJoy support team using the blue chat button in the bottom right of your TravelJoy dashboard. Or you can email us at hello@traveljoy.com and we'd be happy to assist further. Thank you again for spending your time with us today, and happy booking through TravelJoy.